Hey, it's Friday. If you're listening to this podcast on the day that it's released, it is Friday. If you're not, then it's not Friday. But thanks so much for joining us. My name is Todd Rhoades. I am your host here and one of the co-founders over at Chemistry Staffing. This is the Healthy Church Staff Podcast. As you're heading into your weekend, if you are in fact listening on a Friday, do you ever feel like you're just constantly juggling a million tasks, putting out fires, never quite getting to the things that you really want to do or the things that you think maybe truly matter? Today I'm going to be talking about, and we'll learn together, time management strategy from a former president, President Dwight D. Eisenhower. Now, you might be wondering, what does a five-star general and a former president know about leading a church? It turns out quite a bit as far as some leadership things that we can take from. Eisenhower was renowned for his ability to prioritize things very effectively, even in the midst of World War II and all the complexities of leading a nation. And his secret weapon was something that has become known as the Eisenhower Matrix. All right, the Eisenhower Matrix. It's a simple but powerful tool to help you categorize tasks based on their urgency and their importance, and it allows you to focus your energy where it matters most. Okay, so how does it work? There's 4 different quadrants. And if after the podcast, just go and Google Eisenhower Matrix, and you can find some really cool graphics on these 4 quadrants. And you can maybe print one of those off and start to use this maybe in your own leadership, your own ministry. But let me just talk about them here really quick. The first quadrant is what Eisenhower called urgent and important. And these are tasks that demand your immediate attention. These are like crisis management, like pressing deadlines, like urgent pastoral care needs. It's you have to do this right now. It's urgent. It's important. You have to do it now, or else the time will have passed. That's quadrant 1. Okay. Quadrant 2 is important, but not urgent. Now, these are the tasks that contribute to your long-term goals and vision. They're very important. Those are things like strategic planning and team development and personal growth. They're incredibly important, but they're not timely. They're not urgent, okay? So if you don't do them right this second, it's going to be okay. You can't put them off forever because they are important, but you don't have to do them right now. So that's quadrant 2. Quadrant 3 is urgent, but not important. Now, these are the tasks that demand your attention. They're urgent, but they don't necessarily contribute to your overall goals, like interruptions, some meetings, certain emails. They're urgent. They have a time limit on them. You have to do them, but they don't really contribute. They're not that important, okay? So that's quadrant 3. And then quadrant 4 is not urgent and not important. And these are your time wasters. These are the distractions. These are death scrolling on social media. These are things that can easily be eliminated or delegated. Okay? So that's quadrant 4, not urgent, not important. Now, here's the key. Most of us spend times in way too much time in quadrants 1 and quadrants 3. Quadrant 1 is the urgent and important, and quadrant 3 is the urgent and not important. And we do these urgent things because it's like putting out fires, right? But if we want to lead effectively, we need to prioritize quadrant 2, which is important but not urgent. And that's really what's going to help drive our ministries forward. I get it, man. It's difficult because it feels, and I'm not in church ministry, but I'm in kind of parachurch ministry and in my work at Chemistry Staffing. But there are always urgent and important and urgent and not important fires that need to be put out. And if I'm not careful, I can spend most all of my day in quadrants 1 and 3. And I bet you can too. How do you effectively apply the Eisenhower Matrix to your ministry? And I understand listening to a podcast, it might be hard to see the quadrants. So go and Google the 4 quadrants, and this will help you. And then maybe come back and re-listen to the podcast. How do you effectively apply this Eisenhower Matrix? First, you just have to identify your tasks. Make a list of all your tasks, all your responsibilities. Maybe you already do this. Maybe it's in your head. But for me, it's good to put this down on paper. Just everything that I want to get done, all my tasks, all my responsibilities for the day. And then if you have that quadrant in front of you, place each of those tasks in the appropriate quadrant, the matrix. And then once you have your list and you have your quadrants in front of you, you can pretty easily tell this is a quadrant 1, this is a quadrant 3, this is a quadrant 4. Pop them all on your quadrants, and then you get to prioritize. Focus on quadrant 1 tasks first. Those are the urgent and important. They have a time thing and they are important. Do your quadrant 1 tasks first, then schedule time for your quadrant 2 tasks. Those are the important but not urgent. Make sure you get them on your calendar so that you actually do get to do them. And then you can delegate or eliminate your quadrant 3 and 4 tasks whenever you can. Now, I know it sounds really simple, but it can be a real game changer for your productivity and for your peace of mind. And just by prioritizing your tasks, you're going to feel better. You're going to free up some time and energy for the things that truly matter, like leading your team and serving your congregation, those kind of things. So bottom line, if you've never heard of the Eisenhower Matrix, go check it out. It's a really powerful tool. I use it quite often, and it can help you overcome the tyranny of the urgent and focus on what truly matters. And here's the trick. Bottom line, it's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. All right, if you are listening on Friday, that means, yay, it's time for the weekend. Hopefully you will have a great church experience this weekend. I'll be praying for you as you minister the gospel in whatever area you work at in your church. And I hope you'll join us back here again on Monday for a brand new week. Brand new topics here on the Healthy Church Staff Podcast.